Namaste, good afternoon. Um, I think I'm in a pickle now. I need to wrap it up fast. So I'm just gonna start. My name is Sanika Agrawal. I am representing Pollard Steel from Jalna. We manufacture rebars for construction, basically in RCC construction. And we have an installed capacity of producing 1.2 million tons of rebars in Jalna. In 1.2 million tons, what number of SKUs do you imagine for a rebar company to produce? I think let me give you a shocker. We have around 400 SKUs in rebar. And how 400 SKUs is because the need for steel service center is how we understood that there should be more number of SKUs in any manufacturing unit. So let me start with the problem, or let me start with the opportunity. I think everybody has mentioned that India is in its golden stage. The growth and the pace with which infrastructure development will happen in India is much higher than the last 5 years. So the budget or the estimation for the next 5 years is almost 1.7 times higher than the last 5 years construction pace. So when we say construction is going to be a lot more, construction is going to be a lot higher, we know that the construction industry will have to move, will have to match the pace. And when we say about construction, we know steel is an integral part of that industry. We have seen automation play a very important role when we talk about increasing the growth in manufacturing, increasing the growth in construction. So automation plays an important role, right? And we have seen automation in a lot of sectors. When we say construction, we know steel, we know shuttering, we know concrete. These are the few basic elements for any construction to happen. And we have seen automation in almost two of these three parameters. We have seen concrete go through the transformation towards RMCs, and we have seen shuttering become Maiwan shuttering and aluminium shuttering. But where is steel? How are we processing steel at sites? And this is the point where everybody, all of my colleagues, all of the people in the morning session have also discussed. Steel is still traditionally used for a lot of areas. I know a lot of people have been implementing cut and bend in their construction, but it's still not at the pace at which the India's growth is projected. So traditionally, steel is melted, rolled, fixed in, cut and fixed lengths, and then sent to site. On the site, a usual cut and bend happen, and then that is how the steel is fixed. But that becomes a problem between the ambition of India's growth and the execution. Also, when we go through the BIS document 1786, there's no fixed mention on how steel needs to be cut and transported. So I think these are the few challenges that we could see. And when we go to a construction site, let it be an infrastructure construction site, or let it be a commercial or a residential construction site, these are the few problems that we could notice. Um, the most important that we were, and the most prominent one that I could notice was the lack of skilled laborers, the lack of skilled workers availability. In the last few years, we have seen the average age of skilled workers has gone up by 1 or 2 years. And you will see new, young, fresh talent would not really want to go into this industry as working for skilled labor. We know India is a developing country. It's surpassed a lot of countries. So young talent is not coming in this industry. So we know that with the ambition of India and with the shortage of labor, there will be a gap that needs to be fulfilled, which is where automation will play a role. Secondly, we also notice whenever cut and bend happens, whenever processing of steel happens at a site, it usually does not follow all the BIS guidelines. So when you're bending a steel, when you're bending a rebar, there are technical parameters that you need to take in consideration. And that is where we often notice that there's some inconsistency, there's some inaccuracy taking place. Third, that we notice is when the steel is shipped or sent to construction sites, it's usually sent in fixed lengths. And but that's not what the design demands. That's not what the project demands. So usually there's a lot of wastage that can be reduced if if the steel is being sent as per the BBS, that is bar bending schedule. And fourthly, steel buying decisions are usually very, I'll say, demand based. It's a very reactive procurement as opposed to a drawing based buying system. So that is where we understood that a steel service center would play a major role. And how it helps is, of course, there's precision processing because all the cut, bend, all the processing happens via automatic machines at the factory level. Quality assurance should be, because everything that is processed in the factory will have traceability, will have verified quality. There will not be any issues with the bending because it will all be as per the BIS. Material available at a site. So we all know just in time can play a big role, wherein there's a shortage of space at the site. So this can matter for areas where redevelopment is happening. We know a lot of redevelopment is happening in Pune. So there's constricted spaces at the construction site. So this is where it can play a major role. Again, zero wastages because it will be as per the drawing, it will be as per the design. And quick timelines and remote accessibility. When I say remote accessibility, projects where the projects are very remotely and which is not easily accessible. So let's say power grid transmission lines, let's say windmill projects. These are very remote projects, and the steel that should be transported to these projects have to be done as per cut and bend, as per the design. Because once you take the entire fixed length of steel and then try to process it, the accessibility and the financial viability would not make sense. So I think remote accessibility is also some place where steel service center can play a lot of role. Now, how Pollard had come up with solutions. Since 2016 onwards, we started producing coil form TMTs, wherein you can buy the entire coil and process it at site, reducing a lot of wastages and processing the steel as per the BBS design. This second part is very interesting. I think we're all talking about infra and we are talking about large projects, but when I talk about tier 3, tier 4 cities, and I'm just going to throw a little light there for regional players, for regional construction. Off-the-shelf products is something that we started. So we know BBS is required to process the steel in the factory. A bar bending schedule, a design has to be fixed. But in tier 3, tier 4 cities, it's a far away journey. So what we have done is, and this is not something new, this is something that is done in European countries since long, we have started manufacturing off-the-shelf products, that is TMT, in every meter length. So 3 meter, 4 meter, 5 meter, 6 meter off the shelf. So we noticed a lot of rural construction happens, and there are a lot of standard lengths that they cut into. And that is how we came up with off-the-shelf products and ready-made stirrups like that. And the third part that we have already discussed, comprehensive cut and bend solutions. This is very helpful for projects in remote accessible areas. Now, opportunities for all, and I think everybody's working in this sector. I'm just going to quickly just mention these 4 opportunities. Cut and bend equipment manufacturing. Now, I am seeing a lot of cut and bend equipment manufacturing, but for TMT in India, there's very little, there are very, very little players active. So I would encourage people to come up with equipment manufacturing setups. Secondly, a BBS solution software for better planning and for better integration with cut and bend units. Thirdly, there is a lot of scope in processing steel. Only a few players here and there cannot actually fulfill the demand of India. So that is a massive processing gap. And we already discussed about the remote area infrastructure advantage. Now everybody's spoken And this is my favorite slide of the presentation.
This should have been first.
I think my earlier points have been covered, so I'm just going to focus on this slide and take another minute of yours.
Only 30 seconds, ma'am.
Okay, 30 seconds. I'll try to complete. So 50 million metric ton rebar consumption happens in India. Out of that, we have noticed around 50% of that rebar is cut into these lengths, that is 3 meter, 4, 5, and 6 meter. Now, when you consider that, and when you consider a 12 hours on manpower time to process 1 metric ton of steel, that leads us to 300 million man hours. Now, this is a number that will put into perspective that this is the time and labor that we can save if the steel is processed before reaching the site. And if we multiply just a random number, that is 70 rupees per manpower cost, and this can be higher or lower in different projects, but just to set a benchmark, 300 million into 70 rupees, that will be 21 billion rupees that can be saved if all of the rebar is being processed at factory level before reaching the site. So this is my favorite slide, and this puts into perspective that even if this is not an innovation, the cut and bend is not something very new. It's been a proven concept. It's been done by a lot of countries outside of India. It's a new approach, and I think with the help of this conference, I know it's a very relatable topic, and everybody is moving into this. So I'm very glad to be attending this conference and seeing this actually new approach being taken up by everybody, all the players in the industry. And I'm so thankful for Monica ji to letting me speak and letting Polad represent letting Polad present this presentation. We have two cut and bend units, one in Jalna and one in Vanessa, Surat, by the name of Dhatu Polad. And we hope with everybody's enthusiasm here, we are able to open up more such steel service centers and come up with a lot of very exciting, innovating new projects and new products. Thanks so much.